All right, welcome back to the second episode of The Lockdown with Marissa Papaconstantinou, a Paralympian track and field star and our close friend as well, which is more important, of course. Marissa, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, we're all good, keeping busy. So, what have you been doing these days?
I've been doing not a lot, I guess. I've been working out like twice a day to kind of fill my days up. I do one session in the morning and one session in the evening. It's not like I'm doing like two full workouts a day. I kind of like split my day up just so that I have like some movement in the morning, some movement in the evening, and that's pretty much it. Like I spend a lot of time cooking now too, because like what else can you really do? So like lots of meal prep, lots of like testing out different things. Like I made curry the other night and it was really good, and just like just trying things out.
I wanted to ask, because anyone that knows you knows that like you're always on the go, super busy. So how has it been in terms of adjusting to kind of having to slow things down a little bit and kind of stay inside, I guess?
Yeah, Corona's definitely testing my patience because like I've had obviously like a lot in the past like few years, especially starting university. Like it has been like constant go, go, go. Like you guys see me like rushing in and out of class all the time. But like honestly, I'm not gonna lie, like I kind of like the fact that this is a little bit of chill for me right now because it doesn't happen very often. So looking at, I guess, the positives in the whole situation, I'm trying to just like enjoy this time, like being able to spend time with my family as well. So it like I would be currently right now, I would be traveling and like being all over the place. So just actually being able to enjoy home and like enjoy my family and enjoy the time to just chill and like do things that kind of like make me happy and like stuff like that. It's just been actually like a good thing I think that's come out of it, but also it is tough because I do really miss like my structured training, my structured daily schedule where I can have a huge have my process, and I miss like going to the track and like not running on concrete and everything like that. So it has been a struggle in that sense because that aspect of my life has always been very constant for the last like 8 or 9 years, where I spend like 4 or 5 hours a day at a training facility. So from that standpoint, yeah, it has been a little difficult, but overall, I think I'm like handling it pretty well.
Are you on a specific program with the team, or are you completely self-regulated right now?
It's kind of a bit of both. So my coach has been like working really hard to make sure we get like a few workouts a week. But it's again based on what we have access to and what like how we can still be socially responsible while doing workouts. So for example, like today I was supposed to do a hill workout, but the hill that's close to my house, they closed down the path. And so I just decided for myself to just do a 15-minute run instead because you like at the same time, like we have these workouts, but we also want to be socially responsible as well. So it's basically just like kind of playing it out day by day. The weather also takes a huge factor into that as well. So it's been really cold. All of last week, I pretty much went on my bike, like my stationary bike every single day because it was just really cold to get outside. And at this point in time, there's nothing in the short term. So there's no point in like risking injury and like going out in cool weather and running or sprinting or doing anything like that. So we've been just like getting a few workouts in terms of like running and stuff like that. And then this, again, the stationary bike has been like a huge savior to me because I'm able to get like cardio and like some sort of like equivalent to what like a speed workout would be like, for example. And then we also do, my coach runs like a 4 p.m. session on Zoom every day during the week. So that's been kind of fun to like be able to interact with my teammates a little bit and like not feel so alone in the whole process because like, even though it is an individual sport, I train with a group of people every single day, and we are what keep each other going and what motivate each other. And so just from that standpoint, being able to have those Zoom calls too has been nice to like, even if I've had like a lazier day, I know at 4 o'clock I can get on that call and like do like an hour's worth of work with other people. So that's definitely more motivating as well.
I understand the social aspect, like even just doing this, like, you look forward to things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, for the people who don't know, you went to the Olympics in 2016 in Rio, and then you were going to go for your second time now in Tokyo, but it got canceled because of what's going on. So basically, we want to know from someone who has trained so hard. You know, you took a whole semester off of school. You know, you sacrificed a lot up until then. Your diet's been pretty much, you know, monitored all this time. How did it feel when you heard the news that, you know, it was canceled and postponed for another year?
Yeah, I mean, like, there was, like, a few days where there was just, like, a huge emotional roller coaster, and I mean, there was, like, a lot of, like, thoughts going into my head that, had to prepare myself for the games to get canceled or to get postponed because of everything that started to take place, and I had that in the back of my mind, but again, like, I still kept training as if they were gonna happen because you just never knew. Um, it's tough because you get so much information from the news and from all these different sources talking about different things and different people say, and as soon as one person says one thing, it gets reported on, and then you're not sure what to believe. And for a while, that's what was kind of going on, was I didn't really know who to believe when all this information was kind of coming at us. And so when we got that email that basically said that the Canadian team had pulled out from the Olympics was really just like heartbreaking, but also like I was really, really proud of our country that they took the initiative to step forward and say this is not going to be safe and we are not going to send our athletes. And so because of that, I honestly felt a sense of relief at the time because there was a lot of like stressful anxiety that was overcoming a lot of the athletes that I knew. Because we had no qualifiers, we had nowhere to compete, we had nowhere to train, and there was just this whole sense of uncertainty that, like, how were we even able going to qualify or even able to perform at our best if we can't train or can't attend all our training facilities or our competitions. And so it honestly just like gave this huge reliever, but like this big sense of sadness at the same time because I've sacrificed a lot in the last year and I've worked my very, very hardest over the last 4 years. And I think the toughest part about the whole thing was that coming into this year, I completely shifted my mindset over the obstacles I've had to overcome over the last couple years. And so like coming into this year and like being mentally and physically really on it, kind of added a whole other sense of disappointment as well, just because I felt so ready and so excited. And I was really bringing the joy back into the sport that I had for like that I kind of was missing for a little while because of all the injuries I was experiencing and everything. So just the whole thing was like a really big mix of emotions. And then when they finally decided to postpone it, that was something I saw coming, but also, again, like a big sense of relief because if the games did happen, Team Canada wouldn't have been there. And I think that would have been an even worse experience. And so I'm actually very grateful that the games have just been postponed a year because it's not like we are missing out on them. It's just that it's just taking a little bit longer to get there. We're taking the extra long road to Tokyo, but I'm looking at it as an opportunity right now to just maintain my fitness and then to have more time to just get faster, stronger, fitter. So yeah, I mean, there's like a whole bunch of ways to look at it, but I have chosen to look at it in like the positive way because for a long time after experiencing a lot of things I have in the last few years, it was really easy to take the negative side and to look at the negative way. And I've completely shifted that and changed that perception because it's unhealthy and it's really unhealthy for your mental health as well. So I've just decided to like move forward and keep, doing things every day that make me happy. That like training is like the least stressful part of my day right now. It's just something that is a release. It's excitement for me. It's something to move my body and to stay healthy. And so, yeah, I guess that's pretty much it.
So what have you done? Obviously, like you've gone through different hardships, whether it be injury and then, like being sidelined for a while. So you've had to kind of keep yourself motivated during those times. So what are you doing now to kind of keep yourself motivated, knowing that as of right now, it looks like the Olympics will be played a year from now, still in Tokyo. So what are you doing to kind of stay motivated?
Yeah, I mean, so like I said, I kind of just like took this as an opportunity to get stronger, get fitter, and get better. And so that means that during this time, like I know that I can't and I shouldn't be, kind of falling off that wagon in terms of like my nutrition. I've actually taken my nutrition like 10 times more seriously now because we are not moving as much typically as we would be and we sit down a lot more. So I've taken those things into consideration. I've taken sleep and rest in consideration, because we also don't have our IST and massage and treatment that we can get. So there's the whole other added level of being careful and being mindful. In terms of staying motivated, I mean, it's that long-term goal, right? Like I still have my dreams have still stayed the same. They haven't changed. They've just been postponed for a little longer. So for that, I'm still, making sure I get out every day, doing that movement, staying healthy, staying fit. So I'm not losing too much during this time, and being able to maintain as much as possible. I know I'm not going to be able to gain much in terms of like getting faster, because you need a track for that. You need to be running for that. So I've just really kind of understood and processed to myself that this is my goal. It hasn't changed. And I just keep plugging away pretty much.
You see a lot of people now, posting, working out more than than society has ever had before. And
Yeah.
You have been living this regimented, disciplined, schedule for a long time now. What would you say to people who are trying to start kind of working that into their daily routine? What are some tips that you've kind of taken to stay disciplined on a routine like that?
Yeah, just like staying disciplined. I think it's important to like assess what your outcome goals are. That's always something I heavily analyze and take into consideration, because I find that having the final outcome goal and your process goals are very important, because it gives you purpose to what you're doing. A lot of the time, when you don't provide purpose to something, it's easy for your brain to question why you do it. So I constantly remind myself of what my final outcome goal is, and that's medaling at the Olympic Games next year. But then I remember my process goals, because you can't complete your process goals without attaining your final goal. So I take into consideration those process goals. So that's eating well, sleeping well, making sure I can get, 1 or 2 movements a day, or 1 or 2 workouts a day to continue and to maintain my fitness. And so I think for the meantime, like figuring out what your needs are and figuring out what you want to come out of, working out or starting something new, and like figuring out those process goals. So what you need to do to get there, I think is really helpful in terms of like, it's all mental, right? Like it's you trying to like mentally assess how you want to attack something. And I think that assessing process goals and final goals are the way to do that.
So, you recently got sponsored by Nike, and that's pretty sick. Honestly, everyone would agree they'd love to be sponsored by Nike, and it's kind of changed your life. Yeah, they're just you repping
Yeah.
just. I'm repping Adidas today, but still Nike at heart. So yeah, you even gone to the fashion show in New York, and you saw Drake there, and you give him a little 6. So just tell the people what it's like to be sponsored by such a big organization, and how it's altered your sporting career.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very grateful. It's brought me a lot of opportunities that I didn't think I would have in my lifetime, let alone like at this point in my life. And yeah, like I'm just really grateful for, being able to walk in New York Fashion Week, and like representing my country, and like being able to do all these like speaking opportunities, and like getting featured in a relay, a international relay with like some of the top athletes in the world. Like that was just something I was like so shocked about. Like OBJ was in the video, and like all these other athletes are in the video, and I was just like kind of like a little starstruck, but at the same time I'm like, okay, I guess they're kind of putting me in this category with these other people, so I guess I should start like accepting the fact that I guess I've like achieved a sense of being able to do that. I don't know if that makes any sense. But yeah, no, I think the overall feeling I just have is like being very grateful, and like accepting of all the opportunities, and yeah.
You've been, plugging your TikTok on your Instagram, and also posting,
So many people have talked to me about that.
Yeah. But honestly, I know for myself, being creative in the midst of all this has been really helpful. I'm wondering, how that's, even though they may seem silly and, little videos that you may make, how has being creative helped you throughout this process?
Yeah, I mean, like, you guys would know more than anybody else how much, like how much being creative is helpful for us, because, like, we are in a program where like we get to express our creative abilities in so many different outlets. And so like TikTok, as like kind of silly as it can be, and like some of the trends and everything, they're so silly, but honestly like just like taking your own spin on things, and like different people interpret things different ways, and it's just really cool to see how that kind of comes out, or like using different sounds and like making memes of things. Like I just find it like fun. And like like I made a TikTok with my family, and like they had fun doing it, and it's just kind of like a bit of an escape for the time being, and like forgetting that like we're in these circumstances, and kind of just like having fun with it. Yeah, like my family, we want to make another TikTok, so it actually might be coming on the feed soon. It's gonna be the 2C slide.
Ooh.
But I still like, I'm working on my parents for it. My dad actually asked me, he's like, Marissa, can we do the Tootsie slide? And I was like, oh my God, but yes, we can, because that might actually do well on my TikTok.
That's amazing.
I think it's funny because it's like with TikTok, it seems that the most random stuff is what blows up,
It's
and when
so
you're not
true.
trying,
Like, you know that too, like you had like a few that really blew up, like, and like Georgia, she had one that blew up the other day. It's like, and it's like the most random video. Like I posted a video of me just like doing something at the track, and I like edited it kind of cool, I guess, but it was like such a like simple video, and it got like 200,000 views, and I was like, what the heck, like so random.
Yeah. We wanted to ask, we want to see kind of what everyone thinks. What do you miss most about just like being able to go outside, and like what do you think is going to be the first thing you want to do when everything is back to normal?
All right, so the first thing, all you can eat sushi.
Oh yes.
Yes.
It's just like seeing my friends, like seeing all my pals, and like, you know, because I feel like I've done like, we've been doing stuff like a lot of Zoom calls, and like seeing my family as well. Like we do Zoom calls and stuff, and it's just like I miss like that interaction, and like being with my family. And I like some of my cousins like send videos of their kids, and I just like I miss that. Like I miss being a part of that. And so I think that'll be like the first couple of things I do for sure.
And final question here. Where do you see like the sports world and the sport media industry, let's say, transforming after this?
Yeah, I think now that things are going digital that have never really gone digital before, I think we're going to see a lot more things like quickly go digital, where they probably wouldn't have in the next like 10 years maybe.
Yeah.
So I think it's just like really sped up the process of like putting things digitally, because like for example, like yoga classes, like now you can do a whole yoga class online, and I don't think that was ever really like an option before. Like you would always have to like go to a studio or something. So that's just like an example, but I think like now there's just going to be so many more things offered digitally that just weren't before.
Totally.
With that being said, Marissa, thank you for taking the time to talk to us. I think I speak on behalf of Mick and Brandon when we say we know you're one of the most hardworking people we know. So no doubt we'll be seeing you. Hopefully it's next year in Tokyo. And thank you for taking the time.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thanks, Marissa.
Thank you.